What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another weekly market review. Last week was pretty slow in terms of new trades in the beginning of the week, but then later when we went into the midweek, we saw a lot more trades coming back, so that was good. Last week was a really good week because a lot of the trades that were open, some of them were in drawdown that went into profit. We had a few TPs hit just from pendings and some of the positions we had open from last month. So that was really good. Luckily, we do have some new trades come up just because we had some breakouts. So we got some new opportunities here that we can go over. So the first trade that we have is NZDCAD. It is a repeated trade. So this trade has already played out, I believe, once. But yeah, this is a good trade. You can set it up. We both have global and local on a downtrend. Next up, we have GBPCAD, which is also looking like a really good setup. We formed a new lower high here. So this here was the top, and you can see our lower high was forming here. So it looks like price wants to push down. I think TP1 here is TP1, TP2 is very likely. Of course, if we can see TP3 over here, that's going to be great. But yeah, this is looking like a really good setup. Really formed some nice resistances up here. So hopefully we're going to keep going down it. Next up, we got EURJPY. EURJPY, again, this is a repeated trade. So we've already took TP on this once over here. So this is a repeated trade, but this one is really fine to take again. So if price were to go back up, you can take your entries here and take it down to TP1, TP2, and take it down here. Yeah, so this EURJPY is another great setup to create or to open. Again, we formed a really nice double top here. We created a new lower low here. So this was a low. You can see kind of price was struggling to break here in this spot, and then we broke it, came down. We broke a previous structure here, which then we formed a new lower low here. And then because this here was a high, we can see price came down. We can see price came down, went back up. From there, it rejected, went back down, and now we can see that this here is a new lower high because it failed to break a previous high over here. So this is looking like a great setup. We might see price come back up here for another double top and then come down through here. Again, this is a repeated trade, but looks like a good trade to take. Next up, we got EURCHF. EURCHF has been, in this consolidation for a very long time. Just a couple, I think it was 2 months ago, we were, throughout July all the way up to August, we were, kind of playing this range over here. We kept taking these buys of support when that was a strategy mode trade here. So we're taking these buys on the support on this consolidation and taking it into this TP2 multiple times. But now we actually broke this support here. We can see we had the break here. And now we're coming up for the retest. So this is a very fresh trade. It's the first time it's going back into this level over here. So yeah, I'm excited to see how this goes. We finally broke out of this consolidation, and now we just need price to go into entries and then come down into TP. Next up, we got EURCAD. EURCAD has been going on for a little while as well. We kind of have the same scenario over here where we have a double top. So we have a double top here. So this was a double top. We created a new lower high here, and now we kind of broke the structure here, and we're going down. It looks like it's forming another lower high around this spot. So you can see here we had a rejection. So it looks like it's forming. If we zoom in a bit, we can see it's forming another lower high. So this was a high, lower high, and now it looks like it wants to create a new lower high. That's really good to see. That means we're going to keep going down. If you're in this trade, great. You're probably going to hit TP3. If not, be patient. Price might go back up here later on if it bounces off of support. Next up, we got GBPJPY. This is a repeated trade as well. So what we have here is we have our first entry was over here, and we took TPs over here the first time. So now we're going in. We can probably go in for the second time, especially if you've already made money on the first one. You can take this one again and take it down to TPs again. Again, in scenarios like this, we don't really know what's going to happen, right? So there's, really two scenarios that could happen. It's kind of play out both. So the first one is, we could, consolidate between this, which then you can pretty much milk this. You can take multiple sells here and always take it down to TVs. And then the second scenario is that, or I guess we have three scenarios. That was the first one. The second one is we go back to the entry to create a double top here. And then we go down all the way to our TP3. And the third scenario is that this here is going to be our higher low, and we go further up. That one is a little more unlikely just because overall the momentum is bearish. So you can see global is, it's gaining momentum to the downside, and so is local. So we could see some more bearish pressure to the downside. If we zoom out a bit, we can see, overall we're pretty bearish. So if we mark this out, you can see this here was a top or a new top, and then this is our new top. You can see we have lower highs here, right? Which is good to see. And then you had this run up. This here was our top, and this could potentially be a new lower high. If price fails to break above this price point here, so it's going up here, it's getting rejected and comes back down, then we could really see it drop all the way down to the support. If that happens, I mean that would be a really good trade. Of course, the algo is going to recalculate and tell you when that happens. We might not see it, but again, just do what the algo tells you to do. If you keep doing that, you're gonna make money. If not, if you're gonna get your emotions involved, you're probably gonna lose. So keep it very mechanical, stick to the trading plan. If you're not sure what the trading plan is, download the handbook. It's available in our global chat. So just type in handbook, and then Grace will send that to you. If you have questions, if you're unsure about something, ask in our chat, and then people can help you out. And make sure to review all the videos again. It's really going to be important you go through those as well. Next up, we got silver. Silver looks pretty good too. We got a nice downtrend here, and we had this kind of minor pullback here. So now we want to see is price. So we can see prices bouncing in this pullback, and now we want to kind of reach this top of the pullback here on this resistance, and then come down into a TP here. We can see price already made a low. So this was a high, this was a low. We can see this was a lower low, so we can see it closed below a previous low. And same thing here, we can see price creating lower lows, right? So we're pretty bearish, and you can see the local is indicating global downtrend, local downtrend, which is exactly over. So silver is also looking good. Make sure to calculate your proper lot size for this, because the BFT panel is not going to give you the proper lot sizes. It's going to be based on your broker. So next up, we got some equities. So in equities, we have INTC, Intel Corp. We're looking for a buy position here. So pretty much we're looking to get into here on this buy and fill this gap. So this gap is still open. We kind of filled it halfway, but perhaps we can take it up, or perhaps this whole gap will fill. Of course, right now on the short term, we're just having these two targets. Want to play it safe. So this will be entry here, and your TPs are going to be up here. Next up, we got SAN. Again, this is a short. You want to be a little more careful when shorting stocks. It's not always the best thing to do. So make sure if you are shorting, you have a good balance between longs and shorts, just so you don't overexpose yourself on the shorts. Pick just one or two of these, and then stick with those. You don't want to put all of them on. So this would be a repeat trade. This trade already played out a couple times. But if you make money on this first one, you can enter this one again and take it down. But yeah, overall, same thing. Got a nice little top here, a triple top up here, making lower highs. Looks like we might be going into a small consolidation. So, and that's because if you look at this kind of structure here, you can see our price is going into this triangle. So you might see price bouncing around here a little bit, but that's okay, because our targets are short term on these two levels here. So that's right in the triangle, which makes this a pretty high probability trade. Next up, we got FP. FP looks like a pretty fresh trade. So what happened here is we broke this structure over here on this neutral level, and now we're looking to go back up, retest that broken structure, and then come back down towards. So we're looking pretty bearish. You can see lower highs over here. So we're expecting this here to be our next lower high. So this was a high, lower high over here, and this hopefully is going to be our next lower high. So as long as the global stays on your side, this should be good. And same thing with the other trades. Always make sure that global is on your side. If you're in a trade and the trend switches against you, the global trend, not the local, the global trend switches against you, that's when you can think about moving to break even. Next up, we got BAC, Bank of America. So we're looking to take a short on this level here. Same thing, high, lower high, lower high. So really nice structure here. I think this TP here is pretty good target. I think that's something we can hit. The one down here, of course, that's a little it's going to take a little longer to get there. But I think there's a good chance we can hit that as well. Just because if you look at this overall market, so we had a really big push down here, and now we're having this pullback. Right, so this is what you see. It's just a pullback. It's not indicating an uptrend by any chance. This is just a minor pullback, in my opinion, to go. So that's going to be interesting to see how Bank of America is going to do over the next few months. We might see another big dip down, so similar to what we saw here in March. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. Right now, it's kind of also going into this kind of smaller triangle. Lines up perfectly with the TP1, TP2, which is good. If this thing breaks, so if this thing keeps consolidating, you know, we might see breakdown into the support. Usually these triangles, they go out the same way they came in. So you can see we went bearish, went into this consolidation. Now hopefully we go bearish out again. I know this is not the best drawing, but you get the point. Alright guys, that's it for this video. If you guys have any questions, make sure to put them into the comments. If you guys want to learn more about the strategy, get more comfortable with it, if you have questions on how to execute trades, anything you want to know, or if you want to learn more about how to identify good and bad trades, make sure to join our weekly Q&A. They happen every Monday, so make sure to join those, and make sure to read the handbook if you haven't already, and make sure to join our global chat. My name is Patrick. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.